guys, and welcome to our Japanese garden escape. I'm Teresa and today's video is all about bamboo. So I want to cover a few different topics. First, how does bamboo grow, which I find really interesting. Then I will show you which types of bamboo we grow in our garden. And lastly, I will talk about how we maintain the growth of bamboo and how we control it. All right, let's get started with how bamboo grows. And I can show you this best here with our golden bamboo I'm standing next to. This one you've already seen probably in some of the garden tour videos. Okay, so bamboo has only one growing cycle. So what does that mean? So this is different to other trees and shrubs that grow continuously throughout the longer growing season during the year, but bamboo is a little bit different here. So bamboo is known as the fastest growing plant in the world. There are certain types of bamboo that grow up to 1 meter per day. This would be very thick bamboo that is typically found in Asia. Bamboo starts to build shoots, also called canes, you can see here, in early summer. When they're coming out depends a little bit where the bamboo is grown, so what the conditions are, what the local climate is, and they will start shooting out from the bottom and grow higher and higher. And these canes, they will grow to maturity in just one growing season, which for bamboo is between 60 and 90 days. So that means the thickness of the cane, so as they come out, this is the final thickness. So this cane you can see here will not get any thicker ever. It will grow like that all the way up to maturity within the next 2 to 3 months and reach the full height. So if we're looking up, you see how high the bamboo gets as it gets older. And this is one growing cycle of the bamboo. So in following years, the canes, they will get new leaves, even though bamboo is evergreen, but the leaves, they do shed and it will grow new leaves every year. But the thickness of a cane and the height of a cane will not change anymore. So this is reached in this just very first year, this shoot, the cane is coming out of the ground. You can also see that over the years, so bamboo takes about 5 years to establish, but again, it depends on the local conditions and the climate it is grown in. And you can see here, for example, this is a thinner, or better this one in here, this is a thinner shoot. You see that it's not very tall. And this again here, this was the growth and the thickness of this first year, so the first 2 to 3 months after it has come out of the ground. And this is a younger shoot, so this was a shoot of the younger bamboo plant when we planted it. And then every year, the new shoots that come out, they get thicker and also they grow taller. You can see here, this is now a very good time in early summer. So recently it started to get quite rainy and moist. And this is usually the time when the bamboo starts to come out here. At least this is what I'm saying here. This is valid for our plot here and the local climate we have here. So you can see different thicknesses of the canes, different heights. You see growing into the pathway. This is going too far, but that's a lower one. And they grow relatively fast. So even here, you can sometimes a week later, it's probably about here. Then let's cover which types of bamboo we have in our garden. So this one, this is golden bamboo. This bamboo is a running type of bamboo. So there's basically just 2 types. One type is the running type of bamboo, and then you have the clumping type of bamboo, and I will talk about that later on in the video. The running type of bamboo, what does that mean? That means the new shoots, they will grow out, maybe let's go to here, from the mother plant. And they will grow out underground to a certain distance. So the bamboo grows underground. This is called the rhizomes, what is in the ground here. And then at some certain points, it will produce those shoots or canes. And for running type of bamboo, how far these new shoots are away from the mother plant, this is a lot further compared to clumping bamboo. How far they grow and how fast they grow and how many shoots this bamboo produces depends again on the local growing conditions. So here, what you can see here, this is about the growth we get every year. So it's not too much, which is actually suits us quite well. Let's maybe have a look around so you can see a bit more. So here you can see some of they are even taller already. And we have defined this area where this bamboo can just grow. So The position this bamboo has here is it gets sun in the afternoon, but it gets shade for almost half the day. Basically, the running type of bamboo, so this is the golden bamboo, prefers a sunny position, but it will also grow, as you can see here, in partial shade positions. Regarding soil requirements, generally bamboo prefers a nutrient-rich type of soil. We do have loam soil here, which is a bit harder, but that is fine for the bamboo, so it doesn't grow as much as it would in a different, more warm, more humid, more moist climate. But again, this suits us just fine. I was actually, I used to fertilize the bamboo with a special bamboo fertilizer every year, but I actually stopped doing that because it grows so well. So let's have a look around here, and also I'll show you underneath how it looks. What we basically use for fertilizing is we just leave the bamboo leaves in there. We clean out some of them just around here, but most of them in between here, they can just stay, so it looks like in a natural bamboo forest. This is a very big shoot. You can see how thick that is. Okay, then let's have a look to the Aero Bamboo, which we have over there. The Aero Bamboo is kind of in between a running bamboo and a clumping bamboo. So that means the new shoots, they grow out a little bit from the mother plant, but by far not as far away as the running bamboo does. Aero Bamboo also here prefers a sunnier position, but also this one has partial shade as well, so it's actually fine where it grows. Same soil requirements as for the running bamboo, but it will also do fine if the soil is not perfect. This one is also, you may find this as a hedge, grown as a hedge as well. We have it here just, I think it was 2 or 3 plants we had of this one, and we'll just grow it here in one area right next to the other one. So this Aero Bamboo you see has very long pointy leaves compared to the other bamboo type that has shorter and narrower leaves. So it looks really nice either as hedge or just grown as a plant freely in the garden like we do. These canes, in case you're wondering, you see they're bent over, and what happens here, so we're in a climate zone 6. That means we have typically hot summers and cold winters with where we live some snow in winter. But last winter the snow was actually very heavy, so it contained a lot of water, and this adds quite some weight to the bamboo. And what happens in winter with the bamboo, so with this one and also with the golden one next to it, it actually completely lies down on the ground. And last winter the snow was so extremely heavy, so a lot more than usual, that some canes actually cracked at the bottom. So we had to prop up the golden bamboo. We tied it together with ropes and we fixed it to some poles so it stands up. And this is, I think, the reason why this one is hanging over. It's still from the snow load, so we'll probably prop that one up so it stands straight again. All right, so this was the golden bamboo and the Aero Bamboo, and before we go over to the other bamboo types we're growing, I will show you what we do to control the growth of the running bamboo. So if we go back to the golden one, you can see this area here that we kind of defined where the bamboo can spread. So in order to control the growth, you basically have 4 options. Option 1 would be to get rid of these new shoots that come out from the ground every year. But the disadvantage is that you cannot, or you will lose track of where the new roots are actually, the new rhizomes under the ground are growing. So this is not ideal. Option number 2, and this is what we're doing, not using a root block, but we control the growth of the rhizomes every year. So what we do, we define this area here where we said this is where the bamboo can spread and grow. But we go later on in the growing season, so after the main growing season has finished, late summer, we go through with a spade and we just go into the ground all the way along, and this is the way how we detect where rhizomes have been growing. So the longest one we've had, I think you can still see in the grass somewhere here, was about 2 meters. That's about 6-7 feet away from the mother plant, so they can get quite a long way, not necessarily, but it can happen, and this is how we control it every year. If you're doing that though, you have to be really consistent in doing that, otherwise it will just be everywhere over time. Option number 3 would be to not use a root block, and dig a trench around the defined growing area of the bamboo. So this trench could be something like 20 centimeters. That's about, what is that, 8 inches or something like that deep. And you could fill it with sand, and in this way you can work through with the spade easier. So that would be the border. We didn't do that because it is really not a very nice way. It doesn't really look very nice in the garden. And the last option, option number 4, is to use a proper root block, which is, I think, probably the most common one. Root blocks are very rigid pieces of plastic, so they come on a roll, also with a metal clip, which is like a closure. But normally when you use a root block, you would set in the root block first. So you would dig out the entire area where the bamboo grows, then set the root block around it, and then plant a bamboo. So doing this afterwards is not really, or it could be a challenge, let's say it like that. So we did it with the other bamboo, but with the bigger one here, this wouldn't really work that well. Okay, let's now leave our golden bamboo and walk over to our clumping bamboo and the black bamboo. So here you can see our clumping bamboo. We grow this one close to our fence as a hedge, as you can see. We do not cut a formal hedge, we just cut it a little bit on the sides and at the top to keep it in shape, otherwise it gets too big, but still we want a natural look of it. So what does clumping mean? If we have a look at this plant here, you can see that the shoots are first of all a lot thinner than the ones of the running bamboo, and the new shoots, can't see any new ones right here, but the new shoots, you see this is the mother plant, and the new ones will not go very far from the mother plant, so maybe a couple of inches, maybe just 1 inch or a few centimeters. So that means this bamboo is clumping, that means it's compact, and not the new shoots aren't running away from the mother plant like the golden bamboo does. So this is what that means. That's the reason why we grow this one next to the fence, and that's the same bamboo that we grow behind the pond, because it's also next to the fence. This bamboo type is called Fargesia, Fargesia rufa specifically. There are a few different types, and what we really like about this bamboo, you can see the new shoots, how tall they get. They're all starting to grow out now, and they will grow, open up and get their leaves, and then they will start to lean over, like you can see here. So once they're taller, they start to lean over the growth from last year, and then in the next year the same thing happens again, so that the shoots grow up, they open up, and they start to lean over, which gives this really beautiful picture of the hedge you can see behind me. So this bamboo, we, as I mentioned, we trimmed this one. Last year actually we trimmed the height, quite a lot of it, and this is why you see the new shoots, they look very long. They also do get longer over time, so we will again this year we will trim that off to keep it to that height that you can see now. And also the front bits we're gonna trim a little bit to keep it in place, otherwise it will just start becoming bigger and bigger. So that's this one. It's a very nice type of bamboo. It is grown here, the position here of the bamboo, so we have big spruces back there and also the big hawthorn back there, which shades out this bamboo about half the day, so you get some sun after or before lunchtime actually, and some sun in the evening. But this bamboo is actually happy having a partial shade position. The soil here, because of the shade the bamboo creates, stays very moist, so it's also loam type of soil. And also about this bamboo is quite happy. So generally this one prefers a quite nutrient-rich soil, but also here we stop to fertilize it because it's growing just too much. So let's have another look at the picture from this side here, and then let's walk to the back to our black bamboo. The black bamboo is also a running type of bamboo, like the golden bamboo is, and it has basically the same requirements. So it loves to grow in full sun. This one here grows in partial shade, that's fine too. And the soil we have here is also the loam type of soil, so that's okay for this bamboo too. For this bamboo though, and that's based on the position where we're growing, it's in front of our stone wall, we are using a root block, which we did put in after we planted the bamboo, so it's not ideal. But you can see the root block here. So this is just a black rigid plastic. This one is not as deep as it should be. So normally this should be about maybe 2 feet deep for this type of bamboo. That's about 60 to 80 centimeters, but this one here is only half that depth actually, because we couldn't fit the deeper one in because the bamboo was already planted. So, but that's fine, because this bamboo does not have ideal growing conditions. It doesn't spread as much actually. And what we did, we were assuming that the bamboo would not grow behind the stone wall, so we just put in the root block in front of the stone wall, basically around the bamboo, so it doesn't spread into this area. However, what happened over the last few years is that actually the bamboo did start to grow under the stone wall and up behind the stone wall, and we had shoots coming out back there, and this height, this is about, what's that, a good meter, like 3 to 4 feet, and it actually grew all the way up and out, and also towards this side. And so this is the area where we have to catch it, and this is something what we will do also with the golden bamboo later on in the season. So we prefer doing that in late summer when the growing cycle has finished of the bamboo. This bamboo here is not at the full height it can grow to. That's because we have a juneberry that grows just above it, so this is a very old mature tree, and this bamboo used to be very tall and it was growing into the juneberry, and this is why we're actually cutting the top bits of the bamboo off. So this is pruned, you could say, this bamboo. And we bought originally 2 plants. They didn't look too great when we got them from the nursery, and the nursery said they may not survive, but actually they did. So after a few years, you notice that they get established, and this is one of the plants, and the other one we split in 2 or 3 bits, and this grows at the pond at the entrance door, which you may have seen in a different video as well. So yeah, but it gives a very nice picture. We love the, have a look in here. You see, this is why it's called black bamboo. It has really black canes. Newer ones first, they're green, like these here, this dark green, and then they turn into a black color. So it looks really, really beautiful. Okay guys, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give us a like if you did. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye!